there should be a proper balance between the United States and China in Asia. You don't think there should be a balance? You don't think the Americans should be here at all?
Well, the Americans can confront China, but I don't see why Malaysia should be involved in an American confrontation. I do believe in wars as a solution to conflicts between nations. And see, we say that if you kill a person, it's murder. But if you kill 1 million persons, you are given medals and you have a statue for yourself. Something illogical.
You don't think there is something called the China threat? You are not afraid that China may become too dominant, too influential in Asia and could push smaller countries around?
At one time, China was a communist country, very poor, and we call it a threat. Now China is hardly communist and is very rich, and we call it a threat. When are we going to stop calling China a threat?
But you call the Americans a threat?
No. But Americans have got a history of invading countries, regime change, and helping people to overthrow governments and all that. There was even some talks that they wanted to support the opposition in our last Malaysian election. And indeed, some of these opposition members got money. Confess that they got money from American organizations. I think that is interference in the internal affairs of countries. We agreed when we became independent that there should be no interference in the internal affairs of countries. You can say what you like, but don't try to finance overthrows of government.
What do you think of this trend, starting with the Arab Spring, spreading to countries like Malaysia and Cambodia recently, the opposition parties winning more seats, more younger people coming out on the streets, protesting against the government, what you see in Malaysia recently and in Cambodia now. Do you see a really big change in the political landscape in ASEAN?
Well, I cannot say anything about Cambodia because I don't know the details. But in Malaysia, we have had elections, already 13 elections since we became independent. And in our elections, it is possible for opposition parties, their candidates to win and even control the states, the state governments. 5 state governments was won by the opposition. And the central government did not do anything, did not protest, did not have any demonstration. So even today, Penang is under the opposition, Selangor is under the opposition, Kelantan is under the opposition. So if people choose the opposition, that's their right. If they choose us, we are thankful. But we have tried to deliver to the people what they wanted. They wanted a country that is more rich, more prosperous, and we had tried to prosper the country for the peoples in Malaysia. So by and large, they're quite happy with the current government. Although in some states, of course, they are not happy. And as long as the people decide through the ballot that they want the same government to continue, I think it is the right of the people to make that decision.
What if the people decide that Anwar Ibrahim should be Prime Minister?
Well, if they decide, we have to accept that this is the desire of the people.